Good afternoon, everyone. Today, officially, as of right now, is the hottest day in 16 years here at Cleveland. Hold on a second. Yeah, today is the hottest day in 16 years here at Cleveland. The temperature officially at Cleveland Hopkins Airport is 96 degrees. We haven't had a temperature above 95 degrees since July 15th, 1995. I forecasted a high of 98. High temperature usually comes in around 3:30 to 4:30, so we may sneak up. We probably at least will see 97 today. But here's some surface observations. It's kind of hard to see focusing on the computer screen. We got a 99 at Toledo, 93 at Mansfield, 93 at Akron-Canton Airport, and 98 down by Findlay. We got a 96 in Chicago, and even all the way up into Syracuse, we have a 98. They were at 100 an hour ago. Oswego, New York, east of Lake Ontario, where I go to school, is around 93 right now. So these are some of the surface observations from the Storm Prediction Center's page. Dew points around the area are running high too. That's a measure of the amount of water vapor in the air. Whenever the dew point gets to 70 or warmer, that's an oppressively humid day out. Got a 76 degree dew point in Detroit, 71 degree dew point at Toledo. Cleveland's data is missing, 73 at Canton, 76 at Mansfield. So it is a very hot and tropical day outside. With these high temperatures in the mid to upper 90s and dew points in the middle 70s, that's producing heat index values, which is what it feels like on your skin outside, as high as 107 in some places of northeast Ohio at this hour. So let's take a look at some other pages that we have on here. Okay, this is a page from the Storm Prediction Center Mesoanalysis site showing the CAPE in the area, which stands for Convective Available Potential Energy. Whenever you have high heat and humidity, the CAPE tends to get high. The CAPE is measured in joules per kilogram. And basically, any CAPE value at 1,000 joules per kilogram is getting pretty unstable. Because we have such high heat and humidity this afternoon, I'm looking at some CAPE values on this page in northeast Ohio of 3 to 4,000 joules per kilogram, with even 5,000 showing up in Michigan and even a 6,000 in northern Illinois. So that's because we have temperatures in the mid to upper 90s with these high dew points, so there's a lot of heat and moisture in the air, which means the atmosphere is unstable. It wants to rise. And convective available potential energy, CAPE, means the amount of energy that's available in the atmosphere to rise and form thunderstorms. So it's potential energy. It's there. Doesn't necessarily mean it's going to form thunderstorms, but it's there. Now, you may be wondering, well, how come we're not getting any thunderstorms today? We have so much high CAPE, extremely high, 3 to 4,000 joules per kilogram. Well, in order to get thunderstorms to form, the air temperature aloft, which is above the ground, has to be considerably cooler than at the surface. And today we have a tongue of warm air aloft, like I'll show you on the next map, where it is pretty warm at the mid-levels of the atmosphere, just like it's really hot at the surface. So that is called a cap, meaning it's squashing any thunderstorms from forming. That's why today I'll show you in the satellite in a couple minutes. When you look at the satellite pictures, any small clouds that are trying to form today are just getting squashed back down because of this mid-level cap. So let's take a look at another page. This is another thing I like to look at. This is another way to look at how unstable the atmosphere. This is surface-based lift index, also referred to as lifted indices. Whenever the value is below 0, the more unstable the atmosphere is, or the more the atmosphere wants to lift. In today's case, we're pretty unstable, actually extremely unstable, with lifted indices of -5 to -6 across northern Ohio, with even I see a peak lifted indice of -11 in northern Illinois. But because of that cap I was just talking about, we're not getting any showers and thunderstorms this afternoon. And because we're not getting any clouds and storms being able to form, we're just getting maximum sunshine. And in this hot air mass, that's why we're seeing temperatures in the upper 90s today, a very rare thing in northeast Ohio. Let's go to another site that I like to look at. This is called the RAP site, ucar.edu/weather. Alright, this is the National Center for Atmospheric Research. My meteorology professor at Oswego State gave us this site here. Let's first take a look at the satellite data. The visible satellite. And let's look at it over the past 6 hours and center in on northeast Ohio area. Come on, load. Well, there you have it. You see we got some clouds to the north, and we've got some small afternoon cumulus trying to develop in northern Ohio. But as you can see, it's mostly clear because of that warm air aloft, or cap, that I was referring to over the area. So pretty much getting maximum sunshine over northern Ohio this afternoon. You gotta go back to the west to find more clouds along a slowly advancing weak cold front, and those are starting to become productive clouds and some scattered showers and thunderstorms out over southern Wisconsin and northwest Illinois. Let's look at some upper air data here. Here's the 700 millibar temperatures, wind speeds, and pressure. I wanted to show you the cap that I was referring to around the mid-levels earlier that's stopping any thunderstorms from forming. Look at this. The closest reporting station, Pittsburgh, is at positive 12 Celsius at 700 millibars, and Detroit is at positive 15. So even though we're not getting a report from Cleveland because there's not a radiosonde launch that takes place there, which is a weather balloon launch, we can kind of infer that we're somewhere between positive 13 and positive 15 degrees Celsius, which would be temperatures somewhere in the middle 70s, around 700 millibars, which is still pretty warm. It needs to be colder than that to get thunderstorms to form. So that's anytime you have between 12 and 15 Celsius, around 700 millibars, that's a pretty substantial cap. And that was one of the reasons why high temperatures in the upper 90s were forecast today, because we knew that there wasn't going to be any thunderstorms or very little clouds be able to break through this. So why are we so hot in the first place? Well, let's look at the upper air data some more. Let's see here. Let's try something else. Let's go to .500 millibar heights. Here's a pretty good 500 millibar height map from, let's see when this is from. Oh no, we don't want to use that. It's old. Wait a second. There is a good one. Current 500 millibar plot from Unisys Weather. It's not opening either. Okay, here is a GFS analysis. This is one of the computer models, the GFS computer models, of the 500 millibar heights, which is exactly the mid-levels of the atmosphere as of 8 a.m. this morning, which is 12Z in Greenwich, England time that meteorologists use. And we have an area around from the center of the country up through Ohio at around 591 decameters, which is really high heights. And what we mean by heights is basically some of the how deep the pressures are in the atmosphere, if you will. Is not a really good way I can explain that, but basically the higher the heights are, the higher the corresponding pressure is, and temperatures tend to be hotter under the center of a core of high heights. Another way to refer high heights is a ridge. If you look at it closely, you can see the winds tend to crest like from southwest to northeast, and then when they get to Ohio, they kind of turn more from northwest to southeast. So there's a big crest or ridge axis over the area, with the center of it being between Indiana and Ohio today. That would be where the center of this 500 millibar high is. And 500 millibars is mid-levels of the atmosphere, so this is high pressure at the mid-levels. And in most cases, high pressure at mid-levels is a warm core high, which is one of the reasons why the 700 millibar temperatures at near the mid-levels are so warm today, causing the cap, because we are near the center of a warm core high. You can also refer to that as a warm core ridge, or you could refer to it as high heights, or you could refer to it as a mid-level anticyclone, since the wind direction around a high pressure center is clockwise. But either way, we have high heights over the area today near the center of this ridge of upper level high pressure. Then it's around 591 decameters, which is lower than it was earlier this week. Earlier this week, this heat wave was over the Central Plains, and I saw it up to 600 decameters, and those temperatures were well into the hundreds. But 591 is very high for our area. Another reason why we're seeing such hot temperatures today. Let's see what else I can do here. Well, that should be about it. Let's real quick look at the current temperature at Cleveland. Next time I do one of these videos, I'm going to try to be more prepared with maps I want to use, so I'm not looking around for them. In the red color there, that's an excessive heat warning for all of northern Ohio today. And there you go, current temperature at Cleveland Hopkins International Airport. Our official reporting station is at 96 degrees as of 2:51 p.m. We'll see if we make that forecast high of 98 degrees that I was forecasting earlier. So be careful out there. There's an analysis on why we were so hot today. Take it easy, drink plenty of water, and we should start to cool down a little bit tomorrow as that cold front over Illinois I was showing you earlier slips into the area, but we're not going to cool down very much. I'm still expecting at least low 90s Friday and Saturday, upper 80s to around 90 on Sunday, and then finally a more substantial pattern shift by Monday and Tuesday with temperatures back down into the lower 80s. So take care of yourself out there. Stay in air conditioning places, and I'll see everybody later. For All Seasons of Northeast Ohio, I'm Rick Garukas.